Hello, channel surfers. This is Lauren. How's everyone doing? I think we're live now. I was trying to go through my Riverside app and I didn't know how to see the chat. I think Dee is going to be joining us here on the chat. I was going to have her live. Right now it looks like I'm talking to myself, so I'll just keep talking until we get some channel surfers. Let me go ahead and like my content. How's everyone doing? It's me. I'm doing great. Oh man, it's wild. All right, I'm getting some text. Let's see what's happening. I've got my friend Joy and Byron saying I'm not live. I'm on now, bitches. Sorry. Real friends. All right. They should be here soon. Let's see. Dee's texting. Are you in the chat? I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. But we will get started here. Let's get a few people in chat. Maybe I should type and say hello. Top chat? No. How do I chat with you guys? Okay. Now here's the chat. Okay. Hello. All right. We've got a live one. All right, it's me. Oh, there's another viewer. Can I see who is in here with me? Hi, other viewer. Hey, channel surfer. How do I see this? I told you guys I'm new. This is the first time I'm going live. I don't have access to this feature. Well, what's that feature and how do I get access? All right. Hey, everyone. Kohberger is taking a plea. Kohberger is taking a plea. Okay. Hey, Byron. Yay. We've got Byron. I'm live. All right. So Kohberger's taking a plea. We've got 4 people in here. What questions? Does anybody have a question? Who from the class? Raise your hand. I'm just kidding. Comment in the comment section. But yeah, I'm probably going to repeat this a few times. Kohberger's taking a plea. They're looking at doing this on Wednesday. We were supposed to have a trial starting in August. I can't wait to see what happens. We're still under that gag order. That gag order will be until the case is completed. So looks like the terms of this plea, we might have it completed on Wednesday. How can I get on that jury, Byron? Great question. It's not going to be a jury, though. If this news is true, which I have no reason to believe it's not, there's no jury. There's no trial. So, yeah, it looks like Kohberger is taking a guilty plea, 4 consecutive life terms for the murders in Idaho, as well as a burglary plea. Now, burglary, that is when you go into a house with intent to commit a felony therein. So the felonies would be the murders in the case. And the benefit of the plea for Kohberger is it takes the death penalty in the trial off the table. You're always at risk when you have a jury. You never know what that jury is going to do. As far as the prosecution, it's guaranteeing that he goes for life. Can they deport him? Well, that is a really interesting question, Byron. If he were here on a visa, then yes. Actually, even if somebody is just accused of committing a crime, just accused of committing shoplifting, one of the recent presidential executive orders says that they can be deported just for being accused of the crime, not even being convicted. But as far as I'm aware, he is a U.S. citizen from Pennsylvania. So great question. Great question, Pyro. Yeah. So Uh, ugh, I wanna know what's going on. This gag order, I was so excited about the trial. So the gag order, that is going to go until the case is concluded. What we're looking at the terms of these plea is that it's going to be a conclusion of the case. He would be waiving his right to appeal as part of the conditions. Typically, that's what we would see. So, with that said, Wednesday, if we have this plea out, we might start hearing more about this case. Right now, I do know that the state has refused to speak. They are still under that order until it's concluded. It is not concluded until you are in front of the judge and you have waived your right to a jury trial, you have waived your right to appeal, and you have accepted that plea. All right, Byron, after the trial, can we write him in jail like a pen pal? You can probably do that now. Yeah, you can probably do that now. I wonder who's writing them. If you write them, though, we're gonna get the details, right, Byro? It's my friend. But yeah, I'm sure you can. What are you gonna write them about? Now, are we gonna find out why? Maybe, maybe not. He might always just declare his innocence. Why would the state take this? Why would Idaho take this? The family's not happy about it. The family feels like Idaho has let them down. I've speculated, though, that they may not have had as strong of a case as we think. With gag orders being violated, now the judge had denied recently, just last week, the judge in this case denied the defense's motion to exclude that evidence. There also were some alleged discovery issues with the prosecution turning over evidence to the defense, but this definitely would have been appealed. They would have been in post-conviction relief for a while after this case. Um, the defense has raised so many issues, and they may have gone back on appeal and said this should not have been presented. There was a gag order in place for a reason. It was to protect the right to a fair trial. So, yeah, that I just can't wait to see what the evidence is. Um, we just know so little about it. We know what we saw in the Dateline, which violation of the gag order. There's also that book that's supposed to be coming out in July. So, that was before the trial. Um, that would be another benefit to Kohberger taking the plea, is because who knows what's in that book. It's just wild to me that that was gonna be released right before the trial. And who knows what evidence is there? Gosh, Wednesday will definitely be interesting. I want to know more. All we know right now is that little bit of DNA was found on the knife sheath. We know from the dateline that there was no connection between Bryan and the victims on social media. I know early on it was speculated that he may have been stalking one of the victims, that he had gone to the vegan restaurant that Maddie worked at, but the owner of that restaurant allegedly came forward later and said, "There's no proof he's ever been here. We don't have credit cards. We don't have video camera that we don't have anything to show he's ever actually been here." So that was speculation. And on Dateline, they said there was no social media, nothing linking him to the victim. So I think there were some weaknesses in the state's case as well. If you've seen the TikTok I did, it looks like that suspect vehicle number 1 from Dateline had Idaho plates. Idaho requires front and back plates. When you see that white vehicle after the corner's turn, there's 2 white vehicles. It's a dash cam video. It's right before we get to the, dash or the security footage from the house in front of the house on King Road. They say this is suspect vehicle 1, but you see the police officer turn the corner and they're saying, "There's the car right there. There's the Hyundai Elantra." And that's a more clear picture, which it's still not that clear. but it's more clear than the dash or the security footage that we see from the house when we get onto King Road. That is just a blurry white car. But when you look at it, you see a plate that has a blue stripe on the top, a white stripe in the middle, and a red stripe on the bottom, which I think I might actually be mixing that up. It might be red, white, and then blue, but it looks like an Idaho plate. Who requires front and back tags? So that appears to be an Idaho car. After the okay, so still no more questions here. All right. Yeah. So I've speculated about this. The cell phone tower pings, cell phone towers, they are not GPS. It's basically this tower has taken your data and sent it off into the yonder. It's not going to show you exactly where someone is. Usually it's going to show you where they are within like up to a 5-mile radius. And in more rural areas, it can actually go up to 20 miles. He was pulled over from an intersection that was 1.8 miles away from the house on 1122 King Road. That was in the Dateline episode. And Dateline episode, if you've seen the TikTok or you've seen the full podcast that I've done, the Dateline episode, they show a ticket where he was pulled over for not having a seatbelt on. And that was that 1.8 miles from King Road. That was at 11:30 at night. Well, it was also right in front of a 24-hour grocery store, which if you go to Google Maps and type in 24-hour grocery stores for this night owl to go shopping at, that one is the closest one to his house. It's a 15-minute drive from Pullman, Washington. So, yeah, you've got 12 cell tower pings. It could definitely be him just going grocery shopping. You've got DNA on a knife sheath. Could have dropped it in the bathroom at the grocery store. Somebody could have stolen it out of his car. There's definitely other alternatives here. The fact that he stays up so late, he's from Pennsylvania. I want to know what damning evidence there is. This stuff doesn't look great together, but I guess in my mind, we don't have a lot. We don't have a lot. The gag order, there's still reasonable doubt here. I'm glad that they got this settled. I'm glad it's not going to cost the taxpayers money to go through the trial and the convictions relief. But hopefully we get to find out more. Hopefully we can learn more about that gag order, about what evidence there was. Of course, we won't know until Wednesday when everything is concluded. That's when people can start talking. So we'll see. What's today? Monday? Oh, this is a Monday, isn't it? So how is everybody's Monday? Is it good? Did you get drunk? I was supposed to be out on a boat with some of my friends, but I ended up taking a nap instead. Yeah. So just enough time to wake up to the Kohberger news. I needed some beauty sleep. I had a fun weekend. Yeah. Did you guys have a fun weekend? Did you channel surfers? All right. So we've got 3. Come on, guys. What questions do you have? Who's in here? All I can see is the people that are commenting. How do I stalk and see who's with us? Who you with? I have no idea. I'm too old to use computers, guys. Oh, so somebody's texting me. It's probably somebody from the chat. I'm in, but I can't see the comments. Okay, so D is here. Hey, D. She's old too. Hey, D, look over to the, and I've got my map. Look over to the right-hand side. I had to put my balls up. Hi. She's saying hi. Throw in some questions. Yes, throw in some questions. Oh, here we go. Byron's back. Can evidence be assessed after the conviction? So after the plea, that should be considered conclusive. So the gag order is until the case is concluded. The plea should give us all the conclusion we need because we're going to have the plea, the guilty plea. We're going to have the waiver of appeal, most likely. So there's not going to be an appeal pending. It's going to be at this is going to be more conclusive than if we went to trial. Because if we went to trial afterwards, there would absolutely be appeals. Absolutely. The defense has been setting that up. Sorry, guys, I'm playing with my earbuds. I wanted to wear these cute little earrings. And anyway, so yeah, we might start to get more information about this case. It just depends. Depends. Right now, we don't have either side talking because it's not concluded. There's really no reason that would hold them back from it. I just have so many questions. I know that from the Dateline episode, there was blood that was found on a bloody glove outside and on a staircase handle inside that was not tested. And the defense, they don't have the right to get that evidence and test it. We're seeing that with the Scott Peterson case right now. They're wanting to test some biological evidence that was found in a vehicle. But defendants don't have the right to the evidence that the state has. So that question may never be answered. Yeah. So can it be assessed? No, the defense doesn't have the right to. Can they come forward and tell us what they've got in discovery? The state, the defense, yeah, once it's concluded after the plea, then they should be able to come forward with information without violating the gag order. But it's waiving his right to appeal. Yeah, that would be essential. And if the defense argued that the state violated the gag order and forced him into this plea, it would be interesting for sure. But if you waive the appeal, I'm guessing that doesn't matter. All right. What other questions? I think we've got Byron and probably D. Well, I don't think D's left us. I think Joy left us. This is fun. First live. I was a minute late, which was earlier than I usually am. Yeah. Kohberger. Maybe I should go take this over to TikTok. I know there are a lot of people on the TikTok. I haven't done a live there either. I don't know what it's going to be like. So I think that's what we'll do. We're going to move on over to the Remote Reality TikTok. Just look for Remote Reality. This was fun, YouTube. This was great. Thank you for the 4 people who came. I love y'all. And for all of you that are finding this later, because we're new, we don't have a lot of followers yet, but you might find this later and watch it. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being a channel server. And I'm sorry that we won't be covering this trial. I mean, we still have 2 days. Maybe something happens at the plea. We will see. But I've been looking forward to this for a few years. So looks like this got wrapped up. And that's not abnormal. I mean, this is a very highly publicized case, but most cases do end in pleas, like the vast majority of them. So this is pretty standard that we would have a plea. All right, channel surfers, I am going to hop on over to the Instagrams and let's try another live stream, different platform, see how that works. All right, we'll see you later this week. Tomorrow, Dee and I will be recapping 90 Day Hunt for Love on our podcast and YouTubes and all those places. And then on sometime this week, we're going to do the poop cruise. We got to do the poop cruise. We've watched it. My goodness, I have so much to say. So much to say. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Thanks for coming. Bye.